Nicole, Brice here with Mixed Alternative Magazine. We are back for another episode of Unscripted Verbiage, and now I have a co-host. Everybody say hello to Seth Thomas.
Hello.
Seth, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. So, I know about you, but no one else does.
I'm the host of the Louisiana Loud Hour on Planet Radio 106.7 on Sunday nights from 6 to 7. And I also recently just started The Rage, which is an online radio station. Just search for The Rage online on any of your mobile devices. You can also go to therageonline.com and you can listen to all the new music that's out there in terms of active rock and metal.
So yes, and on the Mixed Alternative Magazine website now too, we also have a Rage player embedded on the front page. So you have no excuse. Check out the Rage. Anyway, today we are starting this new round of Radfest articles. So Radfest is a festival that is in Lafayette, Louisiana. Started a couple of years ago. Grant Duhon, who is in Subliminal Landmines, is the mastermind behind it and started it. So this year, brand spanking new festival, new lineup, new way of doing things. First night is going to be on September 20th at Feed and Seed. We've got 4 bands scheduled for that. And then the next day is at Park International on the 21st. And then I think that's 11 bands, 11 or 12 bands, something like that. I could be wrong, but
it's 11.
So anyway, so another good year coming up with Radfest. And so the first band that we are interviewing is From Misery to Malice. And so I had never heard of you guys prior to seeing you on the Radfest lineup, but you know what? I'm discovering new music every day, so it's awesome. So a little bit about the band. They're from Lafayette, Louisiana, death metal, deathcore. They had a new single come out July 27th, 2024 called A Wilted Waltz, and then they've had 3 singles released since 2023. So if you're not familiar with their music, can be found on Bandcamp, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, all the usual suspects. So definitely check it out. So what is happening, guys? How are y'all today?
Awesome. Doing awesome. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Excited.
I'm so glad that y'all could join us. Okay, so we're just going to dive right in. Are we ready for this?
Let's do it.
So y'all are going to be playing on day 1 from I've got from 8:30 to 9 p.m. at Feed and Seed. Hopefully that's still the same, right? Okay. All right. So y'all are kind of close to the end, but not exactly closing out. So for those not familiar with your music, how would you describe your music to people who have never heard it? What can they expect?
That is a great question. I mean, we kind of just play what feels right. Right.
Yeah. And so as far as influences, who would you say your ultimate influences are?
Classic, like Whitechapel, Oceano. I got a lot of influence from them.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that same question in terms of listening to the singles that are available right now and things like that, and really was kind of wondering the same thing. I got a lot of different layers of metal infused in you guys' music, and there's even some symphonic metal a little in there, which is great because it's just pouring on all those layers. And I know some of you guys have been a part of the local scene for a while. What local bands have influenced you to really make the music that you're making?
Man, I'd have to say for sure Golgothan. I started seeing them a couple of years ago before I'd even thought about joining a project. So seeing them live definitely lit a little fire to kind of get things going. But it would be Golgothan and Ardmore for sure.
Okay. All right.
Very cool.
Same,
I noticed too that you guys have played some shows across the area with some of the other up-to-date bands and kind of Raise the Death Toll and a few of those other bands. Shout out to Raise the Death Toll there, but and Brawler. And so seeing you guys play some dates with those bands and mixing it up, I was kind of curious as to what influenced you besides just the majors. So it's pretty cool to hear that.
Yeah, most definitely.
And so my next question, I wanted to know a little band history so we could just get it out there for those not familiar. Like, what year did you guys form? And then what even made you want to form a band?
All of us started. That's a John Citizen question. He's the only original guy left.
Yeah, so give us a little band history, dude. We got to get through it.
All right, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So we started, I want to say it was probably about 3 years ago. It started with myself, a guy named Drake Melanson, Bennett Fairs, David Carlson, and one other guy named Jeremy Domain. But that was the base start of the band. And of course, you know, life has its own challenges and curveballs. So some people were able to hang around and some weren't. But we went through quite a bit of lineup changes over the last couple of years, and it's definitely been a process. You know, I mean, especially whenever people switch out, sometimes you have to come up with new material and just kind of switch gears and things like that. But we have a solid lineup now, and I fucking love these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is it. Nobody's going anywhere, so no more lineup changes.
Well, that's good. You know, and I've seen that with a lot of bands. You know, it takes them a while to get their footing and, you know, find that solidarity that they're looking for. Because, you know, being in a band is like being in a, you know, brotherhood. You know, you got to love the people that you're playing music with, or it's just not going to gel. It's not going to be what you want it to be, you know. So, but I wanted to ask you, where did the name for the band come from?
That is also me.
That's also you too. Okay.
Yeah. But it just kind of came to me one day. I was just at work, you know, just doing my thing, and everybody was already kind of in the mode of trying to figure out what we're gonna name the band. At the time, we had already had a name, but again, the project switched around a lot, and we figured like a new name would be totally necessary. So we used to be Leprosarium, and like I said, one day I was just at work. And then this name just came to me. And at first it was from Malice to Misery.
Okay.
And then after a while we decided to switch it up a little bit. But yeah, and we the name came from, I guess you can say, a bit of influence from like mental illness and bipolar disorder, which is, you know, the Misery to Malice, just kind of like the little switch up. But yeah, that's where the name came from, and it got the vote, so we just moved with it.
Hell yeah. Well, I love the name because it's unique. And so, you know, one thing I always laugh about this. So like whenever bands submit music to me, like the first thing I do is I look up the name and I see if I can find their music. And a lot of these people aren't researching their names. And so you go to look up their music, there's like 800 bands with that name, and you're like, I think they're gonna have to change the name. You know?
Yeah.
So thank you for picking a very unique and, you know, interesting name that no one else has.
Of course.
So what are your expectations going into Radfest? I mean, you know, what would you like people to take away from your performance? And, you know, do you have anything special planned? You know, how can we get people there? Because that's the biggest thing, is we want people to know about Radfest and know that it's a great local festival and we've got the best talent performing, you know?
Yeah, we're coming to throw down and just make people violent and have fun, you know? That's really my biggest thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's that, and just, you know, purveying that energy, you know, through the music, and just kind of projecting that, and just, you know, trying to put it into the crowd and get them feeling it and get them moving. That's you know, that's one of the whole reasons why we do this.
Yeah, I had saw that you guys had played a show out at Feed and Seed, and the intensity of the set looked really awesome. I unfortunately have not seen you guys live. I'm very much excited to watching you on the Friday night.
Awesome.
The pit looked good, and everybody looked like the energy was high. So I'm looking very.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I'm looking very forward to seeing you guys on stage on that Friday night. And you kind of have the warm fuzzy, as we like to say. You guys got one of those middle slots where, you know, people aren't exhausted from being beat up in the pit, and they're still ready to still dice it up. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the set. So, and in case you haven't checked them out, check out, they got some videos from a couple of their last shows. And it looked great. I'm excited for it. Also, too, I noticed that you guys had played in April. Y'all played NOLA Metal Fest, which was a nice lineup. I'm sure that was, like, you know, very intense as well. What can people expect as far as the future of shows for you guys? Obviously, Radfest is the next thing that's on the agenda, but what's coming out for the band with more shows? Are you guys planning on putting out more things as far as, like, not just music, but also trying to get out there on the road more?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think so. After Radfest, we're gonna kind of focus on getting our EP cranked out, and then getting that you know, put on all the streaming platforms. But that's kind of the main focus after Radfest. But we still plan on playing shows. It's not gonna take us long to wrap up the EP. But I think once we have that off the to-do list, the shows are definitely gonna start getting a lot more frequent. and we're excited.
And so, like, let me ask you too, if you guys could share the stage with any band in the future, you know, just they could be mainstream or local. Is there anybody that you have not played a show with that you would love to?
There's plenty. That list is long.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
locally,
I would.
Go for it, John.
No, I was gonna say locally. So I love my guys in Muscle, Stetson. You know, for sure. But they
Stetson in Walmart actually.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but definitely get something with Muscle going. I would like to do something with Golgothan in the near future. But I mean, they're pretty well known, so I know they're high in demand. But those two locally stand out for sure for me. And I don't really have any mainstream, bands in mind that I like to play with. I mean, we kind of, would love to hop on with anybody.
Right.
We're just, we're always game, to throw down and put some jams out.
John,
Yep.
John, you got anybody in particular that you would like to share the stage with?
Oh, me.
Yes, we got two Johns. We got two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got John and John.
You got Jay Sizzle, and then you got the other John. So we got to differentiate.
Jay Sizzle. Definitely Golgothan. Because I've talked to Jarek, I've talked to Jai. They're really cool people.
Yeah.
Raise the Death Toll, Wasted.
Man, I saw Wasted for that Beatdown for Boogie show.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I had seen Wasted since they changed their name from Wasted Creation to Wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I was blown away. I was like, oh my Lord. So yeah, you guys would be an amazing set. Like, I would love to see that night happen. So yeah, let's make that happen here in Lafayette. So,
yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay. We'll figure that out.
I'm sure we could pull some strings.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah. And so set list. What's y'all set list looking like for the first night at Radfest? What can we expect?
We're gonna have a new song. So
that's what I want to hear about. Yes, tell us about that.
It's gonna be it's a jamming song. It's a very it's more of a moving kind of jam, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna get people real rowdy, I hope.
So you think something along the lines of maybe like an exhorter type track?
I'd say a little more leaning into the deathcore.
Okay.
Yeah.
The deathcore sound.
Kind of like some caveman, just real Neanderthal shit,
Yeah.
All right.
That's how we like it.
Yeah.
Hayden said it, not any of us. Hayden said it.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that comparison.
Yeah, no, we call it how we see it, man. But but the newest jam was written by Matt, our other guitarist, and it was just kind of, so Matt, this dude, he can write songs out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, like, we kind of send ideas back and forth through our band chats and our little riff chats and all that good stuff. And Matt sent this one, and it just kind of stuck with us. And it's kind of a mixture of a little bit of technicality, but then still having that grooveness and that simplicity of the riffs. But yeah, it came from Matt, and he brought it up, and we loved it, so we just decided to roll with it.
Nice.
Hell yeah! So you've got the 3 singles you plan on putting in the set list, and then the new song, and any kind of covers or anything else to kind of get the crowd, pumping.
Not
no
right
covers.
now. Not yet. Yeah, we're gonna have all originals.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, because like normally when I talk to the bands, like normally they'll say like, oh, we're gonna throw one cover in there, just to make sure we can get the crowd going. But no, that's awesome.
Right.
Wait.
I would like to do a cover, but that's still in talks.
Well, okay, so if you could do any cover and add it to your set, what cover would you do?
Probably some old Linkin Park song.
No, never.
It would be really cool to just like take an old like Linkin Park or Slipknot song or something and just make it deathcore.
Slipknot, dude, yes.
Because like I don't know, I've seen some bands try to do it, and Not norm. It doesn't normally really work out.
It doesn't hit the mark like
Right.
it used to.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it would be a challenge, and it would be, I feel like if anybody could pull it off, it would be us to be able to.
Oh yeah.
And just I feel like we're gonna have a few surprises.
So when and I might have missed it, but when do you guys anticipate the EP to be out?
Before the end of the new year.
Okay.
Okay, so before 2025, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all
Yeah.
decide on the name and everything, or no?
No.
That's up in the air still. That's a Nellis.
Yeah.
He's kind of the guy to go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The I wouldn't really say, so it's not really, I wouldn't really say the EP is going to be like a concept EP.
Mhm.
3 of the songs on the EP will be kind of like a storyline.
Okay.
But then, and I'm gonna be kind of skipping very far ahead, but after the EP, we have. Let's see. I'm not trying to put too many cards on the table here.
No, I understand. Yeah, totally.
We have basically we're gonna be working on stuff that has like more of a storyline.
Mhm.
But as far as this first EP, it's like half of it will be just kind of a mixtape, and the other half will kind of coincide with each other.
I will say it's almost going to be the prelude before you guys decide to go thematically with whatever you plan on doing concept wise for the next full length or for the next EP.
Yeah, and then that's another thing we. You basically took the words right out of my mouth.
There we go. Music video anytime soon? You guys have some concepts or some ideas for a music video coming out?
We have ideas.
Oh, look, they all lit up like, yes.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
So
we have ideas. We got, picture it like a car. We have a running car. We're just going to put air in the tires.
fair enough.
That makes sense. And to be honest, like music videos, that's a medium that I think, people are still kind of doing on the download, but it's not as much in the forefront because, you don't have a platform like MTV to, have it right there in front of your faces. You kind of, got to search the things out. But I'm gonna be honest, like that's something that I miss from music because to me, the music video helps to complete the, the vision of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it helps to all bring it to life because it's like when you're writing a song, you could have this idea of like, oh, I want this song to be about this, and I see this visual in my head to go with it. But other people may not see that visual. But then if you come up with the visual via a video, then they get to see that. So
yeah,
which I think is cool.
Nowadays, I guess maybe because I'm so old, I have to listen to a song before I watch the video. Because
did you hear him? He's so old. We're the same age. Okay? We're both old.
So nonetheless, I have to listen to the song before I watch the video because sometimes the video will ruin the song for me. Like because conceptually I have this idea in my head of what it should be, and then I watch the video and I was like, that's not exactly what I wanted for this to be. So I always go listen to the song first and then watch the video, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see where they went with that. But still. Like Nicole was saying, like we don't have an outlet like Headbangers Ball or MTV or anything like that nowadays. One thing that I have, like the Rage's YouTube channel, which I have nothing on yet, but
we will. We're working on that.
Eventually, on the Rage's YouTube channel, I have so much stuff curated that every Thursday and Friday I get all the new music videos. They all pop up, and it's all from major national stuff as well as some of the up and coming things. And it's so good to just sit there for an hour and just consume oh, okay, this looks interesting. Let me go listen to it. Click on it and then don't watch the video and then go. So don't send me the video straight up. Like if you ever want to send me the song first, let me listen to it and then send me the video, because otherwise I'll be like, oh, that's not what I had in my head.
Do you get that way too after you read books? That's what I'm curious, because like I'm that way too. Like say I'll read a book and then they come up with the movie and then it just totally screws things up for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But my thing is too, is that like for books, and obviously this probably is not going to make the actual cut of the interview, but
well, no, I'll probably leave it in because it's unscripted. I want it to be raw. Come on now.
For books, actually, if I don't like the name of a character, I'll change the name of the character in the book.
Yeah, I've never.
All right.
So like, if it's like a Gary, and I'm like, he's not a Gary, he should be a Charlie. Like I will read the book. Like, I substitute Gary's name for Charlie.
Watch, he's gonna rewrite the concepts for y'all's music videos too. He's gonna be like, no,
okay,
no,
just
wow.
some ideas, man.
As long as it's cool.
Like I said, I'm gonna listen to it first, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's awesome. Like that's not what I had in my head, but it's awesome. So
yep.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. So I don't want to keep y'all too much longer. Got a couple more minutes. So I guess my last question, and then I'll let Seth finish up with his last question. But I just want to know, like, what are y'all's goals for the next 5 years? Where do y'all see yourselves?
Man, that's a tough.
Yeah. Really, I mean, there's not like a dead set goal. But I mean, it's kind of just do the most we can with the time that we have, really. And just try to enjoy everything and the whole process behind it and just have fun. And that's really why we're all doing it. I mean, we love jamming with the bros and writing some killer music and just having fun. Like, I mean, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I totally agree. Just having fun and creating some new memories and stuff for everybody, bro. You know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Any merch going to be at Radfest if we want to represent?
That's a sore subject.
Oh, okay, no merch. All right.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
It's just poor timing. The guy who does our merch, he's not in country right now, so it was just, and we could have done better, and and ordered stuff a lot sooner, but we all have lives and got a little sidetracked, especially with the new song. That's kind of been like the main focus. But unfortunately, we more than likely won't have any new merch. If we do, it'll be a miracle. But definitely after this, we will have a plethora of new merch and things to choose from. Yeah. So, no need to worry. We got some stuff cooking.
I was going to say, don't worry. You guys definitely are going to have some merch soon. It'll happen. So.
Yeah.
Be patient. They're just going to be patient a little bit.
Yeah. It's totally worth it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seth, you got any closing questions? Anything else you want to ask? So, I'm out of questions.
So Radfest is actually, the one great thing that Grant created with Radfest was he wanted to give a platform for all local bands to have, a voice, the rock and metal community to really have something that is at the forefront of our local metal and rock scene. What do you think, knowing what's trending and what's happening with the scene, what are you excited to see happen and have our scene grow more here in the Acadiana area? What would you like to see happen that would really make things pop off more for you to necessarily like be excited to be a part of shows and also to go out to shows?
Well, I mean, you pretty much said it. It's, just building the scene and, have some more bands come out this way. I mean, with the scene blowing up, more projects are going to start to be formed. So I feel like it'll just be a snowball effect, which will just bring nothing but good to the music scene.
Right. I do think the all ages thing too definitely helps. Like the Feed and Seed, and then the new venue that opened up, the Pit. I think that's really, really good. They got a lot of kids out there with nothing to do, and they can come throw down with us, and then they'll be the next generation of Neanderthals to throw down with us.
Man, one cool story I have to tell you is because last night was the opening show, and you give a shout out to Muscle a few minutes ago. And
that's right. Yeah, you went to that last night. Yep.
Yeah, and I went to that last night, and the one thing I have to say is the amount of new faces as well as the amount of old faces that I saw was really nice to see. A good blend of old heads and new heads that were there that wanted to be a part of the show. And there was one kid actually who walked up to me. He was like the second person that paid. He walked up to me. So I don't know if he's going to see this, but Owen, how are you doing, buddy? It was his first show ever. He was about 16 years old. He didn't know what to expect. And
shit.
Yeah, man. And by the second band, he was like, this is the best thing I've ever been to.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
awesome. Shout out to Owen, wherever you are out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you watch this.
Yeah, he had never experienced live music before. outside of one event that his parents took him to, and so he didn't know what to expect, and he loved every minute of it. And I was happy to see him.
Perfect. He's hooked. He's gonna be hooked, man.
Exactly. And that's what we need to do is like, some people perceive like our scene as big and scary, but you know what? It's big brotherhood, like you said earlier. And I definitely think y'all should probably use the nickname for you guys as fans as Neanderthals. Like that was cool.
I do. I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, like whenever you start making posts on social later on, you can just, because like Branded for Exile, they refer to their fans as exiles. So you can refer to fans as
that's very true. That's a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Y'all birthed something new today.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome, dude.
Seth, you got any more questions, or you want me to close out what you got?
That's pretty much it. I think we're good.
Okay. Well, so today we spoke with From Misery to Malice. They're playing at Radfest coming up September 20th. It's going to be at Feed and Seed. It starts 6, right? 6 o'clock, I think the first band goes on, because I want to say it starts early.
Yeah, I think things kick off at 6.
Yeah, I think things kick off at 6. But I can't believe I forgot that, because like I've been staring at the schedule for weeks. You would think I would know that by now. So anyway, so From Misery, Malice is playing the first night. They're going to be on Friday night. So be sure to check them out. They've got new music out. You can check it out, like I said earlier, on Amazon Music, Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, all the usual suspects, as I like to say. But great band out of Lafayette, Louisiana. If you haven't heard them yet, check out their music. Get ready to check them out at Radfest. And I can't wait to see you guys perform. As of now, I'm supposed to be there Friday night, but if something happens and I'm not there, I will be there in spirit, and I'm definitely coming out Saturday. So, Seth, you got anything else you want to add? Seth, no? You just
No, I'm sorry. I thought you had asked them if they had anything else they wanted to add.
No, does anybody else have anything else to add?
No.
It's all good.
I know I'll definitely be out there the Friday. So I'll see you guys there. So I'll be
awesome
both nights. So yeah, just I encourage everybody to go. Like, get out there, support this awesome event, and just whether or not you're deciding to throw down in the pit or you're gonna watch from the outside and push people back into it, get out there
and don't
as long as you're bobbing your head.
Yeah,
exactly. And support local music 100%.
That's it.
Yes.
Yep.
Because we got to get the bad music off the airwaves and get the good music out there.
Absolutely.
I love it.
All right. Well, thanks, y'all. I appreciate y'all speaking with us today.